Coming up, companies are pushing employees to prove they're vaccinated for COVID-19. Boy, there's some controversy. And I'll share that story with you when we come back. This is KFI AM 640. Let's check in with Layla Muhammad.
The state has randomly chosen 10 vaccinated residents to receive $1.5 million each as the top prizes in an incentive program urging people to get the COVID-19 vaccines. The winners have not been identified, but there will also be another drawing on July 1st for 6 California vacation packages. The LA Animal Services Department is offering discounted pet adoption fees this week in celebration of Father's Day. Adoption prices are being cut in half. And the Education Department says it's erasing student debt for thousands of borrowers who attended a for-profit college chain that exaggerated its graduate success in finding jobs. ITT Technical Institute closed in 2016. We're checking in on the 91 next.
Are you worried about refinancing your mortgage only to find a better rate later? Introducing the No Regret Refinance from Network Capital Funding Corporation. Mortgage rates are near all-time lows, and Network Capital is now offering one of our lowest 30-year fixed rates ever, 2.375% with a 2.54% APR. With a rate this low, you'll never have to worry about refinancing again. Our unique process is fast, simple, and secure. And right now, the Network Capital 30-year fixed rate is 2.375% with a 2.54% APR. Now, today's low rates won't last, so talk to us about the No Regret Refinance today. Call the experts at Network Capital right now. Call 800-500-1-HIT. That's 800-500-1-HIT. As in home run. Call now and save big on your refi. 800-500-1-HIT. 800-500-1448. NMLS ID 11712. Not licensed in all states. Visit NMLSConsumerAccess.org. Licensed by the California Department of Financial Protection and Innovation under the Finance Law number 603D787. An equal opportunity lender. Rates subject to change and may not be available at rate lock. Discount points may apply. Subject to credit approval. Call 800-500-1448 for additional cost information.
Expect temperatures in the 90s to triple digits inland today and 80s along the coast. This report brought to you by Panera. From the Southern California Toyota Dealers Traffic Center, we make it easy. A crash on the 91.
It's in Riverside on the 91 westbound just before Central. Carpool and left lane going to be blocked here. There is a truck that's sideways in lanes. Your trip is going to be delayed right around the 14th Street. They're also saying that emergency crews are on scene blocking the eastbound lane, of the 91 as well, on the carpool lane. So expect that delay too. KFI in the Sky is sponsored by entry attorney SuperwomanSuperLawyer.com. Jeff Law, issue on the 405.
Yeah, I got a few things to warn you about. First, leaving the San Fernando Valley, South 405 Mulholland, top of the hill, it was a problem that cleared kind of quick. However, here it comes. The drive is really tough now coming away from Sherman Way. Doesn't get a whole lot better until you get past Sunset and Brentwood and going down towards this end. And another big problem spot is the westbound 101, westbound Ventura Freeway to the South 405, all those lanes down to one. There's somebody with a flat or something going on in what was the fast lane. Fast no more. Back to Santa Fe Springs, North 605 to 5, got a bunch of lanes blocked there. It's jammed from Rosecrans, that's before the 105. Once you get past the 5, pretty good drive all the way up to the 60. Injured in an accident, visit SuperwomanSuperLawyer.com. Jeff Law, KFI in the Sky.
Ontario, 60 eastbound before Mountain. It's a wreck that made it over to the right shoulder. Still going to slow you down at Ramona. KFI in the Sky helps get you there faster. I'm Robin Banks.
This report is sponsored by Dairy Queen. Hey, DQ fans, the Girl Scout Thin Mints Blizzard is here. The Girl Scout cookies you love meet Cool Mint and world-famous soft serve, blended together in this chocolatey, minty masterpiece. Grab it today, only at your DQ. Happy tastes good.
American General Life Insurance Company has an opening for the position of Assistant Actuary in Woodland Hills, California. Job duties for the position include supporting the analysis and implementation of new U.S. GAAP valuation rules for businesses outside of the U.S. Associate of the Society of Actuaries is also required. To apply, send a resume by mail to American General Life Insurance Company. Reference number MTAIG27. Attention, Lisa Goldman, 175 Water Street, New York, New York, 10038.
At Panera, dinner is hot and ready to serve. Grab the creamy mac and cheese in a bread bowl, the classic bacon turkey bravo sandwich, or try the new Chipotle chicken and bacon flatbread pizza. Order for dinner tonight with delivery or pickup. Availability and pricing may vary.
Imagine you're at the wheel of a plug-in hybrid. No, imagine yourself in a plug-in hybrid BMW. Imagine that this vehicle features dynamic performance with an all-electric range long enough for local trips. And you'll get there quicker with access to the HOV lane. The BMW 330e, X3, X-Drive 30e, and X5, X-Drive 45e plug-in hybrids. Range, power, and performance that you unplug to unleash.
See a SoCal BMW Center today for exceptional offers or visit SoCalBMW.com.
Could you use a change in scenery? Why not make yours happen right at home with a quick outdoor makeover your family can enjoy for years to come? From renovating that old cracked driveway to adding an inviting walkway or patio, you'd be amazed at how much a simple outdoor update can completely transform your outlook and your lifestyle. I'm Larry Green, CEO of System Pavers, America's #1 designer and installer of elegant outdoor living systems. Our Big Change sales event is going on now to help you save a bundle on your brand new views. Call 800-PAVE-004 right now to lock in exclusive low prices and special financing. From driveways, patios, synthetic turf, lighting, and more, our experts are ready to help you make a change today. Get started by calling 800-PAVE-004 and save like never before during System Pavers' Big Change sales event. 800-PAVE-004 or systempavers.com.
All orders must be placed by June 30th, and installation must commence within 60 days of sale. Financing subject to third-party approval. See website for full offer details. Contractor's license 661-575.
Have you been putting off life insurance for a while? With the long application process, medical exams, and blood tests, it's no wonder you put it off. It can seem so confusing, expensive, and time-consuming. But Ethos is a new way to buy life insurance. Ethos is built with you in mind. Instead of a medical exam, you only have to answer a few health questions. Our application is 100% online and can be done in about 10 minutes. You might even get same-day coverage. At Ethos, we match you with the right policy and the right price from top-rated carriers, with no medical exams and no blood tests. Now you can spend less time sorting through confusing paperwork and more time with the loved ones you want to protect. Go to ethoslife.com today to apply in minutes. That's ethoslife.com. Ethos Technologies, Inc. operates in some states as Ethos Life Insurance Services. Not available in all states.
Impact Mortgage Corp. DBA Cash Call Mortgage. NMLS ID 128231. Equal housing lender. Not licensed in all states including New York. Offer based on loans over $250,000. Call 855-657-9910 for licensing terms and restrictions.
What's better than a mortgage interest rate and APR in the twos? How about a no closing cost mortgage loan with an interest rate and APR in the twos? That's right. We have no closing cost loans here at Cash Call Mortgage. We pay the title, escrow, and appraisal fees. So if you're looking to save a little cash on your monthly mortgage payment, call Cash Call Mortgage today. Our quotes are always free. If your mortgage rate APR is not in the twos, Cash Call Mortgage could lower your interest rate and save you some cash. What are you waiting for? With low rates and no closing cost options, now is the time to refinance your mortgage. For a free quote to see if you qualify, go to cashcallmortgage.com or call us today. Call 800-633-0861. That's 800-633-0861. 800-633-0861. The CDC has just declared
The constant cleaning of surfaces is threatening to become part of the problem.
it's just hygiene theater because people aren't washing the bleach off the surface and then they're putting their food on it and then they're ingesting the bleach.
Jerry and Shannon.
So stop washing your pasta boxes,
Weekdays at 10 a.m.
okay?
on KFI.
Rising that time, you are not around, so interesting. Way back the way, way back the way.
And good morning, everybody. Bill Handel here on a Wednesday morning, June 16th. The President and Putin are now in the second round of their talks in Geneva, and we will wait what's happening. It's been a little weird, unlike many other summits, and I'll dive into that a little bit later on. Now, just to let you know, I was at a bank yesterday. I had to have some paperwork signed. And yesterday opened wide up. No more mask requirements, none of it. So as I walk in, the please wear a mask or you must wear a mask sign was still on the door. And I walked into the lobby, and it's one of those lobbies where the desks are very, very far apart. I mean, this is the bank was set up for COVID restrictions. They haven't put it back together again. Everybody was still wearing a mask. It's as if the restrictions have not been lifted. And now we have companies that are dealing with what do you do? And we see videos on the news of people walking into restaurants and no one has a mask and everybody is ignoring social distancing. But there is another reality out there, and that is private businesses. can they mandate masks? Can they mandate vaccinations? And the latest was that lawsuit where you had those healthcare workers out of Houston Methodist who refused to be vaccinated or wear masks. And the hospital said, then you're not here. And they took it to court, and court said, hey, go someplace else if you want to work. The hospital has every right to mandate vaccination and or masks. You know, that one, but that's a health facility. To not wear masks or to not to be vaccinated at a health facility where people come in sick, where they come in with compromised immunity issues, how can you not force people who work there not to be vaccinated? Talking to Jim Keeney, and in fact, I have to ask Jim this question, because he works in the ER, his Mission Hospital, and every year they're vaccinated. Every year they get a flu shot, everybody that works there. And I have to ask him, what happens if one of the doctors, one of the staffers, nurses, tech says, no, I'm not going to be vaccinated? Do they keep on working? And then, sure, I'm vaccinated. You have to prove it. I get a flu shot every year. I don't carry around proof of a flu shot. So now the issue is going to become, number one, are companies going to be able to force vaccination on employees? I think the answer is yes. And how do they prove it? Are companies not only will be allowed to force employees, and it depends on the company too. It's pretty clear when you're talking about a health facility. Less clear when you're talking about a bank. Less clear when you're talking about a facility like our building here, where we don't wear masks because everybody has been vaccinated, and we keep well apart from each other simply by the nature of how the studio is laid out. Also the fact we hate each other, so that has a lot to do with it. But there are still people in this building that I know simply refuse to be vaccinated for whatever reason. And at least they're responsible and they wear masks. So we're going to get to the point where the next big issue is going to be to wear a mask or not to wear a mask. That is the question. And then the forcing of the vaccination. Tell you one thing, if I still had my business, I would simply say you're being vaccinated. And I want to see proof. And if not, I think they have a hiring sign down the hall because you're not working here. I have no problem with that whatsoever. It's not only to protect you, which obviously you don't care about, but it's to protect me and to protect our clients. And, no one can force me to do... I hate that. You can't force me my civil rights. God, I hate that. I really do. Violation of my civil rights. You can't do that. Oh, please. Stop it. You can't force me to wear a mask on an airplane. I'm an American and I have the right not to. Don't buckle your seatbelt and see what happens. Go ahead, try that. Now, the flight attendant comes around and you have to buckle your seatbelt, and he or she is checking for everybody to wear a seatbelt. Yours is not buckled, and the flight attendant says, please buckle your seatbelt. No, I'm an American. You can't force me to buckle my seatbelt. What do you think's going to happen? You'll be screaming, I'm an American. I have every right not to buckle my seatbelt as they drag you off the airplane. And I believe that is going to happen. And that's going to be the next big controversy. And it's going to get worse. And I'll tell you why. Because for many of us, this pandemic is over. Now, for that group of people who refuse to be vaccinated, I know one person, by the way, who is in that group. And now we have the Delta variant, which is extraordinarily contagious. It's already swept across England. I think 10% of the entire population of England. Now, those who have COVID are suffering from Delta. They've already found a couple in the United States. And it is so contagious, it is going to be the variant in the United States and far more dangerous. And then you're going to see a spike in those places that aren't vaccinated. I wonder if anybody pays attention to that in those areas or those who are anti-vaxxers. Probably not, because the chances of getting COVID are pretty small now. Numbers are way down. However, the chances of getting COVID while you're vaccinated is virtually zero. If you're going to get COVID coming up in the next few months, it will be because you're not vaccinated. Coming up, Cheapskate University, the housing market. I mean, it is so crazy. Is it going to crash? Is it a bubble? Clark Howard joins us for a segment of Cheapskate University. Let's check in with Layla. What's going on?
Well, someone has been shot and killed in the Westlake district of L.A. The LAPD says officers found the body of a guy who was about 18 or 19 years old in the street this morning. Police say that two other guys walked up to him and one of them shot him. They then took off. More than 30 pelicans along the Orange County coast have had their wings broken in the last several months. Wetlands and Wildlife Care Center Executive Director Debbie McGuire says the mutilations are clearly human-caused.
There's a lot more that we don't know about. I know of several, about 17 down in the Dana Point, San Clemente area that never even made it here because they were deceased on the beach.
McGuire says most of the birds had bones sticking out. She says a $500 reward is being offered for information that leads to a conviction. News brought to you by Cunning Dental Group. A congresswoman says about $23 million is needed every 6 years to replenish sand on beaches in Orange County and keep the waves at bay.
Totally man-made sand erosion.
Congresswoman Michelle Steele says since the 60s, the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers has been replenishing sand until the program was cut in 2010.
We are talking about 18 million cubic sand that we really need.
She says a storm last summer flooded Newport Beach streets, parking lots, and neighborhoods.
The sand's been washed away, and those houses on the beach, Seal Beach too, Huntington Beach, they are in danger.
She says many coastal cities have been setting aside money to pay 1/3 of the cost, but the feds need to step up. In Huntington Beach, Corbin Carson, KFI News.
A study says more than half of the cosmetics sold in the U.S. and Canada are toxic. The University of Notre Dame tested more than 200 cosmetics and found that 56% of foundations and eye products, 48% of lip products, and 47% of mascaras contain high levels of fluorine. Researchers say the fluorine signals the presence of other harmful chemicals that stay in the body for years and have been linked to cancer and other serious diseases. Wisconsin has approved a $1 million rail project so a future chocolate factory can get oil and sugar delivered. The new rail spur is set to start construction later this year. The chocolate factory's first phase is set to start operating by the fall of next year. You had me at chocolate. Let's head to a crash on the 91.
I'll take chocolate anytime. In Riverside on the 91 westbound, just before Central, a crash here. Carpool lane and left lane are taken up. Yeah, there's a truck that I can see up against the center divider that's backwards, so it's facing the wrong way there. Also lots of fluid, so they're going to be bringing in some Absorball to absorb all of that fluid. So 91 westbound before Central, your trip is going to be delayed right around Spruce. It's really a tough ride. KFI in the Sky is sponsored by Entry Attorney, SuperwomanSuperLawyer.com. Jeff Boss, Hazard on the 101.
That's a good name for that stuff, isn't it? Yes, indeed. Westbound Ventura Freeway going to the South 405. Was somebody with a flat right there? That's such a bad spot. 405, 101. So many bad things happen there. So just be careful going through. South 405 is definitely slow from Sherman way up and over the hill. Now, a little bit of good news. San Fe Springs down. North 605 at the 5. We had a bunch of lanes blocked here. It's all been cleared out of lanes. If you're coming up from the 405 now, North 605, it's good. North of the 91, it's still going to be slow until you get through the 105. And then once done, pretty good drive up to the 60 freeway. Southbound Morning Drive on the 605, though, really got jammed up coming down from Rose Hills. It's still all lanes up and down to the 91. Injured in an accident. Visit SuperwomanSuperLawyer.com. Jeff Baugh, KFI in the Sky.
Clear to Car in Ontario on the 60 eastbound just before Mountain. All the lanes are open. A tow truck still there on scene. Your drive is slipping up a little bit at Ramona. KFI in the Sky helps get you there faster. I'm Robin Banks.
The Clippers will be looking to pull ahead of the Utah Jazz in Game 5 of their tied playoff series tonight at 7. That's live on AM 1150. The series winner will face the Phoenix Suns in the conference finals. The bad news now, Kawhi Leonard's expected to sit out tonight's game due to a knee injury sustained in Monday's game. He may even miss the rest of the series. I'm Wayne Resnick, KFI Sports.
If you're looking to get out of your house, maybe, you're done. Houses are ridiculously overpriced, and there's another place you want to live somewhere in the United States. You're not alone, that's for sure. Maybe you're downsizing, you have financial issues, maybe you inherited a house, and you go, now what do I do with it? Well, usually selling it means hours of cleaning and painting and repairing and staging. So let me tell you another way of doing it. Selling your home for a fair price without any of that. The buyer never walks through your house, no appraisal, no commission, no fees, and you can get paid in cash, and I mean quickly, within 10 days or less. That's directbuyers.com. It's a local family-owned business around since 1986. Janet and Matt, brother and sister, do a fabulous job, and they're good people. They're not schmucks about it. There are plenty of schmucks out there who are in this business. So don't sell your home until you talk to directbuyers.com. See what they can offer you. They'll give you an honest, no-obligation offer, and they can even give you, $15,000 cash advance before closing. Go to directbuyers.com, directbuyers.com. Call 844-242-SELL, directbuyers.com.
Southland weather from KFI. Expect highs in the triple digits for the valleys, the Inland Empire and High Desert, mid-90s for the Basin and Inland OC, mid-80s along the coast, and low 90s in the mountains. We lead local. Live from the KFI 24-hour newsroom, I'm Layla Muhammad.
After all the time inside our homes this past year, the time is now to get outdoors. The all-new Avello Airlines is inspiring travel with flights starting as low as $19. Experience incredible wine tasting to national parks to epic outdoor adventures at the West's most beautiful destinations. With $19 fares, why not be spontaneous? Visit AvelloAir.com. That's AvelloAir.com and book your flight today. Avello Airlines. Surprisingly low fares, refreshingly smooth travel. AvelloAir.com. Restrictions may apply. Visit AvelloAir.com for details.
Small business owners know cutting costs without cutting quality is tough. How do you trim expenses without hurting your business? Easy. Get Spectrum Business. Call 888-489-2212. Switch to Spectrum Business and you can get the best internet and phone services for half of what you're paying today. Cutting costs can be easy when you get Spectrum Business. Just call 888-489-2212. Restrictions apply. Call for details.
Summer's here, things are opening back up, and you still have that ugly old garage door. Hi, Dwight here from Mesa. No more excuses. It's time to totally transform the look of your home with a new garage door from Mesa. Normally a new Mesa garage door is $949. But today I'm slashing the price to $699. You save $250. Plus, I'm throwing in the installation free, bottom seal free, and I'll even pay your sales tax. Be one of the next 11 callers, and I'll even throw in our exclusive quiet light system, dramatically reducing the noise of your garage door. Normally $199, now absolutely free. Whether you need a new garage door or just need your old one fixed, you can trust the Mesa Advantage for all your garage door needs. The best garage doors from the best professionals at the absolute best price. To take advantage of this special summer deal, grab your cell phone, dial pound 250 and say Mesa Garage Doors. On your cell phone, dial pound 250 and say Mesa Garage Doors.
I feel incredible because I called 1-800-WEST-MEDICAL.
KFI AM 640.
iHeart radio station.
More stimulating talk.
Get your coin purses out, cause it's time for Cheapskate University with Clark Howard.
And good morning, Bill Handel. On a Wednesday morning, June 16th. Welcome back. Big day. A lot going on. We have a heat spell that's just driving us completely nuts. All kinds of records are breaking. And hopefully we're yet to see a major wildfire. Also, right now as we speak, the President of Russia and the United States are in the second of the two meetings for the summit in Geneva. In the meantime, let's check in, and we haven't talked to Clark for a while. Good morning, Clark Howard in Cheapskate University.
Good morning, Bill. How you feeling?
I'm feeling good. I want to thank you. Clark, on a regular basis, was calling me and texting me, seeing how I was doing while I was having my 2-month vacation.
That wasn't much of a vacation,
It
was
was not much of a vacation, that's true. Most of which I was in the hospital. Yeah, it wasn't a lot of fun. Any case, I'm trying to remember when you came to the house. Was it after or before the surgery? I don't even remember.
It was before the surgery. I came by to see you. I was visiting my daughter in Pasadena and came by to see you.
And was I lucid at all?
No.
Oh, okay.
You would have known if it was before or after the surgery.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, there were more than one or two pain pills going through my body, to say the least. Okay. Now, one of the things I wanted to ask you, and we've talked about this many times, and it has to do with housing prices. And we talked about Atlanta, where you live, and what's going on. California is completely nuts. Southern California, and you shake your head and you look at it. Clark, what's your take on housing, both rental and purchase of housing here in the Southland?
So we have a flat-out shortage of properties. There's no doubt that there's a housing shortage, not just in Southern California, but this is true around the country, and it dates back to the real estate bust from 7 to 12. A lot of builders got out of the business. They went bust, whatever. But even more than the builders going away, because you have the big publicly traded builders that stayed around, the workers that worked in construction, when construction went to zero after the housing bust, they went and did other things. So there's an extreme shortage of labor in the housing construction industry. And so we have a shortage that, depending on whose measurement, some industry experts say we're short, like the Fed say we're short about 4 million homes. Others in the industry say we're short about 6 million homes in the country. To give you a perspective, we have, depending on how you measure it, let's say we have 130 some odd million homes in the United States. So it's a meaningful shortage of houses. At the same time, we have the largest demographic group in the country's history that are in their key home buying years, and that's the millennials. So you've got people hitting a stage in their lives that they want to own a home. At the same time, there's a shortage. And then people have, to a certain extent, been buy and build because the interest rates are so low. Think about how many times you've talked about how low the mortgage rates are. It has pulled some purchasing forward. So it's a perfect storm for somebody trying to buy a home right now.
Which, by the way, you can't do. How does a millennial, and if you look at prices around here, we're in Burbank, and the other day I was looking at prices. You have homes, and Burbank's a nice area, but it's not crazy. It's not Beverly Hills. It's not Encino. It's not Newport Beach. And so you have small homes that were built in the 50s and 60s. 2-bedroom, 1 bath, 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, 1,400 square feet, a yard. It's postage size stamp. It's $1 million.
Right.
How does a millennial come up with that? I mean, it's $200,000 down for a decent mortgage.
The fact, a lot of people in Southern California who are making a decent salary, if they can earn something similar somewhere else in the country where housing's more affordable, they've been moving. I mean, the moving trucks have been moving more out of Southern California than in because of the housing affordability problem for rentals or for buying a home. And so this is something that has got to be addressed at the governmental level, is how do you create more affordable housing? I mean, right now, if people want more affordable housing, where do they go in Southern California? They go way east.
Yeah, I mean, way
and then have way east,
like Nebraska,
have very long commutes. And then people are like, do I really want to be in the car, an hour and a half, 2 hours a day? But this will correct, Bill. The marketplace will correct it, and it'll take time because you reach a point, right to what you said, who can afford as a millennial for a 1,400 square foot home? Who can afford $1 million house? And the answer is not very many people unless they have help from their parents.
Yeah, well, let's go even beyond that. That same house, and a friend of mine was looking to rent in this area or other areas. That same house is, if you look at the rental, $5,000 a month. $4,800 a month.
Sure.
How do you do that?
Well, I mean, why do you think, Bill, so many people from the movie and television production industry have moved to Georgia, where the housing is roughly a third the cost of Southern California, because it gives them the opportunity to afford what they can't afford in Southern California. They give up having the beach, they give up the perfect weather, generally perfect weather, although it's been very hot lately, and they give that up, but it gives them the opportunity for that paycheck to buy a really nice house.
Yeah, it's just a really weird situation. Oh, and then the cost of lumber has only gone up 300% in the last year.
Good news on that. Good news. I got good news on the lumber. The lumber price has been collapsing, and lumber prices are not going to be the problem for the foreseeable future that they have been over the last few months.
Great. Well, that does help a little bit. All right, let's take a break, come back, and it's Deal of the Week, which we do every time Clark comes aboard. This is KFI AM 640, and let's check in with Layla Mohammed.
It's going to be another hot one out there today with a second day of triple-digit temperatures around the Southland. Cal ISO says it's closely monitoring those weather conditions and may call a flex alert. President Biden and Russian President Vladimir Putin have started their second round of talks in Geneva. The CDC says the highly transmissible Delta variant is on track to become the dominant form of COVID-19 in the U.S. The Delta variant now accounts for 10% of new cases in the country. We're checking out a stuck big rig on the 55 next.
I know you've seen all those great home loans being advertised, but you're probably not sure if you qualify. Or maybe you've been told, nope, you can't get that low rate. Well, I bet you haven't called IntelliLoan. Right now, IntelliLoan has a 1.99% rate in APR with no points or lender fees for SoCal residents, and this is even if your credit score is as low as 620. It's a 1.99% rate in APR with no points and no lender fees. And you've heard me talk about Daryl, the owner of IntelliLoan. He's got a team of home loan specialists that really want to make this home loan process not suck. They want to make it as hassle-free as possible for you. So call IntelliLoan today at 1-800-918-6200. That's 1-800-918-6200, or just go to IntelliLoan.com.
Rates subject to change without notice. Minimum loan amount requirements apply. 60% loan to value and 620 FICO credit score. Certain restrictions apply. Subject to credit approval. NMLS 3290. Loans made or arranged pursuant to a California Finance Lenders Law license number 6036970. Equal housing lender. IntelliLoan. Borrow smart.
Hey, DQ fans! The Girl Scout Thin Mints Blizzard is here. The Girl Scout cookies you love meet cool mint and world-famous soft serve, blended together in this chocolatey, minty masterpiece. Grab it today, only at your DQ. Happy tastes good.
Mostly sunny today with highs in the 90s to triple digits inland, 80s along the coast. This report brought to you by Dairy Queen. Let's head to a stuck big rig on